Hi, just going to show you where to get some useful data. A couple of sources I use. Mapping data is Ordnance Survey Open Data. Here you can get hold of all sorts of sort of background mapping data. Now this is in both vector and raster map format, so very good data set. But here's the OS Open Zoom Stack. Very big files to download, so make sure you've got a good internet connection when you're doing that. I tend to download the GIS package, which is slightly bigger, but it's just one single file, which is quite nice. If you download other types, it can be several files for each individual data piece. So GIS packages are nice. I've had the odd one corrupt though, so treat with caution. Green space showing all the public open spaces, cemeteries, parks, things like that. OS map local, it's a bit like a street map view really, and you've got that in vector format, so you can then stylize it however you want. And raster map, which is just an image. Open names is quite useful. That is a comprehensive data set of place names, road numbers and postcodes. It's quite useful. OS Open Roads, again I tend to use the Zoom Stack stuff, which has a lot of that in. So yeah, you've got various different vector maps. Terrain is quite useful, 3-dimensional, so you can download it and look at things. It's quite coarse. I think if I remember right, it's at 5 meter height intervals, so it's okay for doing very big analysis, not so good for doing finer stuff. I will show you how to do that in a later video using the Environment Agency's LiDAR data. So this is the vector map district for GeoTIFF. You've seen the vector map. Boundary line is all the sort of political boundaries across the UK. Code point is all the postcodes. It's the centroid of every postcode area. So the data set I use quite a lot. The format you get it in is not brilliant, so I will show you how to process that. I'm going to download a new version of it shortly so that I process it live and you'll be able to watch that. So you've got the nice 250,000 scale colour rasters, which is great for doing sort of area mapping. I tend to use it as displayed on a grayscale, just so it doesn't overwhelm anything, because it's very pictorial. But that's entirely up to you what you do with it. It is quite brightly coloured, and it's quite coarse. But if you're doing large area studies, then it's a decent backdrop. And if you're doing anything even larger, then the mini scale stuff is quite useful too. So that's one data set showing the mapping. The other one I use quite a lot is data.gov.uk, and gradually more and more data is coming forward on this. So you've got a number of sort of topics here. So we've got mapping, which would be the obvious one perhaps to go to when we're dealing with mapping. So we've got a land registry, property gazetteer, stamp duty, land, all manner of things that you can get to. Depends what you're wanting, but you go hunting for whatever you want. But as long as it's got some form of locational information in there, then you can map it. So a great data set that I use a lot is road safety data, which takes a little bit of digesting. I've spent a lot of time working with this data. I've spent a lot of time analysing it, and I've actually got my own database of it now that I can use and query and present. So it's a very useful tool. It's huge. Comprises 3 basic files: one that deals with accident, one that deals with the vehicles involved, and one that deals with the resulting casualties. I tend to use it for accident analysis, but you know, we can use it on a wide area and look, say, for all the fatal accidents in the UK. It's a huge data set, and the world's your oyster really with it. If you want to know about accidents and you want to do a particular analysis, then you know that's the data set to use. It's updated annually by the Department for Transport, and currently they have up to the end of 2018 in the bulk data, but there's some unverified data to the end of 2019. Later on this year that will all be verified. So okay, so I think that probably shows you some initial data locations where we can get data from. I'm going to now sign off on this one. I'm going to download some new postcode data, and I will show you how to manipulate that so that you can use it for looking up coordinates and sort of geocoding information that has postcodes. Okay, thank you.